Now we move on to lap 12, and you can see we're going wheel to wheel through turns 12 and 13, and I mean, man, this is a very fierce battle between him and me now. We held on to the position for lap 11 and 12, but he's going to be burning a bit more battery than me on the run down to turn 14, I think, and we're going to be going wheel to wheel. This is a very intense battle. I'm going to try and hold on around the outside. I just about managed to stay on the track this time. He doesn't lock up, which means he doesn't force me off the track, but I'm actually the one who got the DRS from that, because he was slightly ahead of me through the detection point, and what that has allowed is Lance Stroll to attack him back through the DRS zone and take what is effectively net P2 in this race off of Charles Leclerc, and this is good for me, I think, because I probably have a bit more pace than Lance Stroll, and I think this will allow me to maybe sort of stretch my legs out in front. So yeah, that has really been costly for Charles Leclerc there. It's going to be an Albon win. At the end of the day, my battling with Leclerc really cost me big time. So yeah, P2 was the maximum I could extract from this race. Albon takes the win, and yeah, it's going to be a 1-2 to kick off the season. As far as things go, you can't really be too upset about that. You know, if we're looking to defend the Constructors' title, a 1-2 is the best possible way that we could have started the season. Albon just on the superior strategy today, I guess. And yeah, a decent result for the team. So now, as we move on to lap 25, we are finally going to maybe try and make a move on Lance Stroll here. You can see he defends really well into turn 1, but it compromises his run into turn 2, and that allows us to get the switchback on him, and we make our way up into P2 in the Australian Grand Prix. But the fact that Lance Stroll was even running in P2 in the Australian Grand Prix is honestly super impressive to me. You can see that Verstappen has built a massive gap out front, 10 seconds to me. I did not have the pace to contend with him on this occasion. I think even if I had got ahead of him on any occasion in this race, he would have gotten me straight back with the superior pace that he was showing in the Australian Grand Prix. So he is going to cross the line, get fastest lap, and take the win. Very strong drive from him as he picks up 26 points, unless someone can take that fastest lap off of him. But we are going to hold off Lance Stroll to take P2 and back-to-back P2s in the Australian Grand Prix. So yeah, very satisfying result. Even if it was disappointing that I couldn't pick up the win, I did not have the pace for it on this occasion. So yeah, I can be content with P2, and I think that puts us in the lead of the championship as well. I had very good battery management to take me up to this point. You can see that Russell's very close, closes the gap to 1/10, but doesn't go for an attack on this occasion, and I think he might have just run out of time unless he goes for a seriously crazy move into this final corner, but he doesn't. He's not close enough. We're going to burn battery to the line now, and we are going to take our first win of the season here in Shanghai. My goodness, I need to lie down after that one. What a crazy race that was. I can't believe how much contact there was towards the end between myself and Russell. That was bonkers. We take driver of the day for our troubles, and I think George Russell will be feeling a little bit hard done by, but we do win the race. Yeah, it's an ICE failure, you can see there, and not really what I wanted, but that's how Formula One goes sometimes. You know, sometimes the components fail and there's nothing you can do about it. And this is one of those times. You know, I'm just gonna have to struggle my way, not back into the pits, but over to the marshal's post right by the pits. And that is the end of the sprint for me. And we are going to round the final corner, run up to the line and cross it to take P10 and a very well-deserved point in this race. So yeah, Albon crosses the line to take the victory, and then Verstappen and Gasly close behind him, and I'm going to cross the line to take P4. It's not a terrible result, but I will be wondering what might have been had I played things a little bit differently there. You know, should I have gone on to my usual setup? Not sure. Dragovic, driver of the day. Not sure what happened with him, but you know, congrats to him, and that's the story of the race. We've got plenty of battery to burn to the line. I really haven't used this battery very effectively at all, but it hasn't mattered because we've held on to the lead of the Grand Prix, and we will win the Monaco Grand Prix for the second year running. And that was pretty much everything that happened in this Grand Prix. A very disappointing result as we crossed the line to take P14, and yeah, that is not what I wanted to happen this weekend. However, you know, unfortunately this track just does not suit me whatsoever. Doesn't suit my ability to race the AI, and yeah, it was just a big struggle overall. But nonetheless, we're going to keep him behind, and despite what was not a great race in terms of pure pace, I'm pretty happy with this result as we cross the line and take P5. We're pretty close behind him, that said. You know, we're only 2/10 behind. I don't know if his tyres have gone off or what's the deal here, but you know, we're going to have a bit of battery to attack him with. We're going to have DRS, And yeah, this is going to be a close one. We're going to see. I think we're gaining on him enough, actually, as we come on the run up to Stowe. We dive up the inside and squeeze him out a little bit. I think he was looking to try and stay in the fight, but he hasn't quite managed it. And now I'm just going to be burning as much battery as I have as we come through the Vale chicane and round the final few corners, burning battery to the line. And as we come up to the line, we're going to cross it to take P6 in this race. And my goodness, that was a last lap battle for the P6 position there. I can't quite believe that we actually managed to get back past him. I thought once he'd overtaken me, that was done, but I will take a P6 after that battle. But anyway, enough about the Hasses. The race is over. It's not a race, it's a sprint. Albon has taken the checkered flag first. We couldn't quite catch up to Ocon and Stroll. We were closing them down for a little bit, but yeah, then they stopped battling each other. It's going to be P9 for us in the end. It's not the end of the world. I would say that is a pretty good recovery drive from P19 to P9 in just 12 laps to make up 10 positions. But yeah, we are going to have a little bit of work to do if we want to get into a decent points paying position in the race. Yeah, I think we are safe here. 1.5 seconds to Carlos Sainz. We round the final corner and we are going to run up to the line. Nobody could stop us today from taking this victory. We won on strategy, we won on pace, we won on defense. There was nothing, we kept it clean. There was nothing that we did wrong today to hold on to the race win here. Schumacher gets a deserving driver of the day for this P3 finish. Sainz ends up P2 actually, and I need to lie down. Yeah, as we round the final couple of corners, the final corner coming up now, you can see that there is basically no opportunity. We've got 20% battery. That will be enough for us to burn basically to the line, and I think that is going to be just about enough to take the win here in Paul Ricard. And my goodness, that was not an easy race by any stretch of the imagination, but it was a well-deserved victory in my opinion. You know, we did everything we could. We defended beautifully from the cars around us. Albon unfortunate with that damage, but we are happy to take the victory. I really think that I am going to struggle like mad to win this championship. I am just not got the pace on Albon this season at all. It really seems like he's brought something more once again in this season to be a championship contender, and all we can hope is that he's going to fall off later in the season. But as we round the final corner, the only thing that we are going to get from this race is 4 points as we take P8 at the flag, and that is not what I wanted from this Grand Prix whatsoever. Yeah, the grip is non-existent on these slick tyres. You know, these are used hard tyres in the wet. That is about the worst combination of tyres you can possibly get. There is no grip on these things whatsoever, and I am going to have to work very hard to try and get through these last few corners. Ocon has really closed the gap to me, and you know, I think the rain is about the only thing stopping him from trying to put a bit of a challenge on me. I thought I broke early enough there, but we went quite deep. We got the inside of the following corner, which means we'll just be able to hold on to it as long as he doesn't get a better exit than me, which I don't think he has. We're going to cross the line to take P3. It is a podium finish. Not quite what we wanted here, but given the circumstances and given our pace compared to the AI, I will take a P3 in comparison. You know, that is not the worst result to get. No, I wanted to have hope. I wanted to have hope when I was doing this race that there would be any chance that this might not be a breakdown. But unfortunately, it was. And yeah, I tried to make things as difficult as I could for Albon to navigate here, but I couldn't quite do it, unfortunately. As Schumacher, actually, you can see there, he had a bit of an incident at turn 1 and lost a position to Gasly. So yeah, we'll see what the finishing order was. But regardless of what the finishing order was, you know, Alex Albon is going to be at least 40 points ahead of me, surely, by the end of this Grand Prix. I can't see him finishing lower than 3rd. But I'm sure he'll probably do even better than that, and we're about to find out. But yeah, either way, yeah, this was the opportunity, and it was taken away from us, and that is absolutely gutting. And yeah, I think Ocon is going to hold off Norris to take P4 in this Grand Prix. Leclerc wins at home with Sainz leading home, a Ferrari 1-2, and we are going to cross the line to take P6. But it doesn't matter because our gearbox has given up at the end of this Grand Prix. Fortunately, I was probably going to change gearbox for next race anyway, so I don't think we have to worry too hard about things like penalties and stuff like that. but it is still incredibly frustrating to get this kind of result here at the Singapore Grand Prix, especially considering that Albon is not running in a terrible position right now, and if he can make up some positions, then I would say that a retirement like this has almost certainly killed our championship chances. And I have never won here before, and this would be an absolutely amazing way to take my first victory at this circuit. We come through the chicane, you can see that Max Verstappen is nowhere near me, 6/10 down, and we come through the final corner, and on the run up to the line I am already celebrating, and you can see that we are going to take the win, and we are going to win for the first time in Japan. From us, Norris unsurprisingly takes the win, with Albon coming home just behind him in P2, and provided we don't mess up through these final corners, I think it is going to be us taking P3. We're going to try and hold off from Verstappen. We round the final corner now, and nothing is going to get in our way as we come up to the line and take P3 from P13 on the grid. I'm not too disappointed with that. Obviously, it's mixed emotions because I think that might have been the championship slipping through my fingers here. I now need to gain over 13 points per weekend on Alex Albon, which means I basically need him to have a failure. But it was still a good overall performance as far as this race was concerned. And this is my teammate, Alex Albon, now putting pressure on one of the AlphaTauris, but he is around and into the wall, and his car is actually, he's lost his tyre. So that's the end of the race for Albon. Oh my god, this is massive. This is massive. This means that we have an opportunity to extend 25 points on him in the championship. And, yeah, I mean, it was pretty straightforward. Dragovic not quite on the podium, very close to Ricciardo there, but he's going to miss out. And we are going to cross the line to take P1 in the Mexico Grand Prix and make up a massive margin on Alexander Albon in the championship. We've cut his lead down from 53 points to, I think, 28 points. And that is a much more manageable gap to try and overcome in 3 races. It might not be possible, but it's certainly a damn sight more possible. We're going to move on now to lap 26, and this is actually Alex Albon, and if you haven't been able to tell what that jink to the right was yet, that is him indicating that he has some kind of mechanical problem, and in the exact same part of the track that Pierre Gasly retired from just a few laps ago, Alex Albon is retiring from the Grand Prix once again, and that has presented us with a gargantuan opportunity to get back at him in the championship. Now I'm going to be outscoring him by 25 points if I can stay where I am, but I'm going to soak in this victory for now as we come around the final corner on lap 33, and we are going to cross the line to take P1 once again. And my goodness, what an immense result for us. Obviously there was a little bit of luck involved in that as well. Were we the deserving winner? Absolutely. But did Alex Albon deserve to score no points? Absolutely not. And, I mean, yeah, disappointment for him, but elation for us. And as we come up to the line, we're going to cross it to take P2 in the sprint. And I think that's a job well done. You know, we set out to outscore Albon, and we did just that. And that puts us tied on points, which I think means I will take the lead of the championship. So I can't be too disappointed with that. And, yeah, we'll see what we can do tomorrow. Race. I can't allow Albon to get away from me. That'd be an absolute disaster. And I think my tyres are starting to go off, so I might not actually be that much faster than him in Sector 2 as well. So we're going to have to try and make this move now. He seems a bit further ahead than Ricciardo was on the previous lap, but we'll see if we can get ahead of him. We dive up the inside, and we are going to push him a little bit wide once again, but I think we gave him plenty of room. And, oh my god, there's a massive crash. That is a huge crash. Let's see what happened there again. I will show you a replay in a second. I think Ricciardo is out. Yeah, you already saw Ricciardo was out. And Albon too is out of the session. And that has major ramifications for the championship. What happened there? I'm so concerned about what happened there. I have no idea. Is that my fault or what happened? Let's see. My goodness. So this is Albon, pushed out a little bit wide. Actually, he seemed like he had room there. I think maybe he had an oversteer or something and had to go off the track. And then when he came back on the track, he just, yeah, just absolutely went for it with no regard for where Ricciardo was or anything like that. So I personally would pin that one on Albon. I don't know what you guys think, but I think that's got to be Albon's fault, surely. You know, he just came back on the track without really looking and just steered straight into Ricciardo, who was just taking his racing line. I think you've got to put that one on Albon if you're going to give that to anyone. But as we round the final corner, we are going to cross the line to take the victory once again here in Brazil. And I don't think the champagne will ever taste as sweet as it will taste at the end of this race weekend, because my goodness, this has been one hell of a comeback in the championship. Not the most involved race I've ever had, but I'm still very happy. And now we're looking at Alex Albon, who, is continuing this fight back, but there is a yellow flag going on, and yeah, it is in fact for him, and that is going to make me the world champion before we've even crossed the line, because now Albon out of the race, there is no way I can lose this championship. Nobody else can catch me, and Albon needed a win, and him being out of the race means that I have done it. So a little bit of an anticlimactic way to win the championship, but well, I mean, let's see if we can fight our way back to the front and maybe get a win to cement it at least. We've overtaken Leclerc, who's been struggling with some problems. Verstappen got ahead of him as well, and now the gap to Verstappen ahead is 2.5 seconds. So we're going to see if we can try and close this down and finish my career with a win here in Abu Dhabi. Obviously, we had 3 wins in a row before this one, but as we round the final corner, we're going to come home to take 2nd place in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix and win our 4th World Championship. My goodness, I don't know how we managed to fight our way back into this championship. I really, really don't, because we were so far down. As close as Singapore, we were that far down, and now we're the world champion by about 40-something points. It's madness to think how hard Alex Albon threw away this championship. You know, he failed to finish the last 4 races of the season, and at least 2 of those instances was his fault. So yeah, difficulty for him, I'm sure, but hopefully he'll come back stronger. What is up, everyone, and welcome to the end of the video, I suppose. This is a bit weird because obviously I am just starting recording, but you've already been watching this video for 20 or so minutes at this point. And yeah, that is the end of the season and the end of F1 22. I usually in this point I do a little bit of a preview of what's to come next, but at this stage obviously I don't have any access to F1 23, so I mean there's a few questions we gotta ask ourselves obviously for when we get into F1 23. What's our team gonna be? What's it gonna be called? We're gonna stick with the Jaguar name? We're gonna go with a different brand? What brand should we go with? If so, if you guys have any suggestions, then let me know down in the comments below. I'm gonna renegotiate with Alex Albon, but just as a sort of formality. There was no one else that was really really tickling my fancy when I looked in the driver market. I was just checking to make sure Dan Ticktum definitely wasn't getting into Formula 1, and yeah, it was looking pretty unlikely that he was going to. So yeah, we end up re-signing with Albon just as a formality, just so we can get to the end of the season. It doesn't really matter because we didn't need to re-sign with anyone. It just means that we go to the end of the season and we can see the stats and all that kind of thing. But yeah, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who joined me on this 161 race journey that we've been on over the past year or so. And my plan, whether it materializes or not, a lot of YouTubers like to say this, and I don't know if I'll become the next in an elite club of people to promise that I'm going to do a 10-season career mode going forward, but that is at least my intention. So yes, I'm hoping that in F1 23 we will be able to do a full 23 race season with a 10-season career mode. So that would be 230 races overall. You can see that we did get first in the constructors. We also got our primary sponsorship bonus for doing exactly that. We have a lot of money, way more money than we'll ever be able to spend. And also there's the confirmation that Albon did beat me on number of pole positions, 6 versus 7, but I did beat him by virtue of wins. So yes, we are the rightful champion, I guess you would say, in that regard. And also he struggled immensely towards the end of the season, which helped us too. So yeah, that is effectively the conclusion of the Jaguar F1 22 storyline. But thank you so much for everyone who tuned in, whether this is your first time or you've been here since the start. That is going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed, please make sure you like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in F1 23.